So out in the shop today, Pedro dropped off this beam for me. I'm gonna flip the spindles for him. I already did his offsets. I got this spindle off, and I thought I would do a little how-to so you guys know how to do this, and hopefully make it easier for you. So let's get our safety glasses on, grab some pussy mittens, and get to work. Just give me 5 seconds. So of course these drums are pretty much locked up. If this drum will spin, you want to go in there top and bottom and adjust the adjusters all the way in so it'll spin free. It makes it come off a lot easier. It gets the backing of the brake shoes off of the drum in case you got a lip on the back. That way this will just pull out. But first thing we do is got to get the dust cap off. I just use a claw hammer. I'm an animal, I know. You can, this is a late 64, 67 drum. You know that because this dust cap fits over the drum. Earlier, 63 and earlier, this dust cap is going to actually sit inside the drum, and it's going to just be a big old ball sack like right here, and they're a lot harder to get off. But you can use a claw hammer for that too. It just kind of makes a mess, but whatever. It's just an old hippie bus, right? Oh, that was easy. Save this, you need it later. Late spindle again. These take, that's a 27 millimeter nut on a late. Early's 32, a lot bigger. One really good way to tell what spindle you got. Let me move you over here. This is a lock nut. It's important to have that. The other side is broken off, the tab was broken off. That's really common. If you're putting these back on, make sure you still have both tabs there. It keeps the nuts from moving, backing off, and your wheel falling off. I'm sure you could probably get somewhere with 3 wheels, but not so much on a bus. Driver's side. This is left-hand thread. This is the driver's side, and it's left-hand thread. I said that twice for a reason. How do I know if it's the driver's side or the passenger side? Because there's a hole through the frickin' spindle right here. That's where your speedo cable goes through. That should be square, not rounded out. Square and goes out, and here this spins. It spins your speedo. I know it's really high-tech stuff, but this is left-hand thread. If you try and go clockwise, right-hand thread, and keep doing that, you're gonna screw up the spindle threads. I'm sorry. If you go left, counterclockwise thing is going to come off, it's going to tighten up. If you go clockwise, it actually comes off instead of going on. Righty tighty, lefty loosey, right? Take off your outside one. That dust cap I said you'll need later, you need it right now. Put your nut in there. You can take off the lock washer. You can see the 2 tabs on it. There should also be a tab in the middle, right here, that locks it into the spindle itself so this can't rotate too. So this one is actually junk. I thought it would be okay, but it's not. And then you get the second jam nut. And righty tighty, lefty loosey, unless it's left-hand thread. This spindle thread is pretty much always, or has a real high chance of being screwed up because of that. Back in the dust cap, hang on to that. I need it quick. Oh, try and keep your beard out of the grease. It's not possible. It's gonna get grease in it. This drum won't move, so obviously I can't. Normally I'd just stop here and just pull the drum off and all this garbage would come with it and fall on the floor and get grease in it and rust, but we're gonna pry it out of here with a screwdriver just gently. This washer goes only one of 2 ways. There's a flat side. It's flat all the way across. You want that flat side up against the bearing. This side's got a curved edge. You want that out towards your nuts. Both your nuts, if you still got both your nuts. Flat side up against the bearing. It's important. Put that in your dust cap. This hopefully comes out not too bad. You don't want to get too crazy on this if you're going to reuse it. I don't know what Pedro's going to do. I assume he's going to reuse it. pull your bearing out. This is your outer bearing. They're pretty tiny on late model stuff. So now everything's out of the way. Take your dust cap with everything in it and set it off to the side. Now the drum's ready to come off. Normally it just come right off, but because I have to work on it, that's not going to happen. There's best way to do this is with a drum puller. You can go ape shit on it with a BFH if you want to try and loosen it up. You can put a lot of screws, lug nuts in here and a bar on it to try and twist it to get it to move to free up so it can spin enough that you can at least get back to the adjusters. There's different ways of doing it. Here's I'll show you 2 drum pullers that you can try and track down. One's easy to get, the other one not so much. Let's go over here. This thing's made by OTC, I think. Normally comes with these 3 arms. You can get more. It'll work with 3. It's not pretty, but you can get these. I just bought this used on eBay. It was like 70 bucks or something. I don't know. You can buy them new. Hell, I don't know, maybe 80 bucks new. I don't know. It was cheaper, so I bought it cheaper. This was, I bought a good friend of mine, Gorby, Mark, one of the Gorby brothers. He sold this to me. I'm very thankful for that. When I died, oh, this is a testament. When I die, this goes to Brad Boston down in Southern Ohio. Remember that, because I'll probably forget to put it in my will. But this goes to Brad. This is Brad's when I'm dead. Until then, it's mine. So, but I'm going to use this. Let's go check it out. This thing is a beast. You're going to need all 5 nuts when you use oh, shoot. Pardon me. Where are my manners today? You need, when you use all 5 lug nuts on this. And you want them to be, ideally, you want to run all these lug nuts all the way in. I doubt that's going to happen. It didn't happen with the other one. You can't get them all the way in. At least get it so everything's even. You don't want to. You want this parallel to the drum. You don't want it cockeyed when you're cranking down on it. You're going to end up screwing up the tool. I don't give a shit about the rest of this. This is what I'm worried about, because this thing's badass. But you just turn it like this, because I'm incredibly strong, and everybody wants to be as strong as me. Or you can hit it with a hammer. This is here to put a like a pipe through to keep everything from spinning. But we don't need that today. This is going to totally foobar your shoes in there. Don't worry about it. Sorry, Pedro, but bring me shit, you get shit back. And that's actually not true. Usually end up fixing everything. That's why they bring it to me in the first place. But yeah, so your shoes are going to be screwed up. You might bend a adjusting screw a little bit, but that's the worst that's going to happen. It just pulls off. Got a nice little nest of something in there. Something was living in there. Okay, set that off to the side. You got your shoes over here. These 4 bolts are what holds basically this whole assembly together. It makes for a lot of fun putting it back together, but you'll get it. I'll make a video on that too, so don't forget to subscribe. These spindles are getting flipped, and they're going back on here, so you get to see a video of me setting up the shims, measuring the offset on the arms, installing the drop spindles. So again, remember to subscribe, hit the notifications, hell, go crazy. Why not? Help me out here some. So these 2 and these 2. It's a 15 millimeter. Hardly ever see a 15 on a Volkswagen, but there it is. Just break them loose. There's a reason for that, and you'll find out in a second. Okay, stop there. Don't just pull that off and go crazy. Next thing you want to do after you have those broken loose is go over here to your tie rod. let's get this thing off of there first. That way we can spin this thing around and move it. It's a 17. Sometimes you have a cotter pin running through there. This one should, but it doesn't. But even then, if it does have it, don't worry about it. Just hammer that thing on there. Hammer that socket right over. It'll bend right over. Stuff is so weak. Old and rusty. Don't even worry about it. Get this thing. Came right off. Now, I'm going to put this back on there just a little bit so I don't jack up his threads. There's a ton of different ways to get tie rods off. Tie rod ends off. I do it one way. That's the way I do it, so obviously it's the correct way. But I'm going to show you some other ways to do it. The first way is with a BFH. Let me grab that. Up here. You got your BFH. You have a tie rod. What's that called? Pickle fork. Made in the USA, baby. What's up, KD Tools? What you know about that? This is actually from Harbor Freight, and this is what I use when I'm tearing down just garbage core beams and stuff. Put that in an air hammer. Done. But this is a shiznit right here. Animals will just take a big BFH and just bap on this and hit as hard as they can. It compresses it enough for whatever to break the taper. We're not animals here. We can work smarter than that. This thing's from Harbor Freight. Costs like, I don't know, 20 bucks, 25 bucks? I think they call it a ball joint separator. I don't know what the hell a ball joint is. That must be on, I don't know, space shuttle stuff or something. It just sounds pretty queer to me, ball joint, but whatever. I use it for tie rods because real Volkswagens have tie rods. So that's it. If you don't have an impact, it doesn't matter. You can just use a... Damn it. It's a 19 millimeter. 3/4 probably. In this country. Done nice and easy. You don't screw up the threads. You don't bash on this. You don't bash on that with a hammer. It comes apart nice. Pickle forks always mess up your boots. That's really not an issue at this point, but that thing just works so much easier. But anyhow, that's it out of the way. Now this can be turned all over the place. If this was in the bus, this brake line would be up here on the frame rail, right? You don't have to break your brake lines free to take this off of here. You just, up at the front is the bolt that holds the bracket on. You just take that off. Even if you're doing flip spindles, you don't have to get all crazy and pull brake lines off. Pull that nut off, this thing, with the grease fitting in it. When you send in the spindles to me to be rebuilt, make sure you include that, otherwise it's going to cost you $5. I don't like making them. But now that that's off, everything's out of the way, like this. Now you can pull these out of the way. Oh, drop the washer, lock washer. Set these off to the side. Since that tie rod's undone, you can now move this spindle all around. If this is still up there, you can pull this off, and you don't have to disconnect anything. Don't just let it hang. Tie it off somewhere, but you can leave it all together. You don't have to disconnect any of the brake lines or anything. When you go to do a flip spindle, all you have to do is break it loose up here, spin it upside down, tighten that back up, put it back on. You don't have to get all crazy. That goes off to the side. Now you're left with the spindle. This might be what you started with, who knows? Let me get a better angle for you guys. Okay, so here's our spindle. This is your spindle. It's the driver's side because you see this for the speedometer cable, right? There's supposed to be a dust cap on here, just like there's a dust cap here. This is your stop bolt. Technically, you don't even need it, but Your steering will stop it. Your steering box has got stops in it. But anyhow, this is your upper kingpin, sometimes called a long kingpin because it goes all the way down to here. This is your lower kingpin, sometimes called the short one because it's shorter than this one. Long, short. Stuff's not complicated. This is, I'm an asshole. This is your link pin pinch bolt. This is your link pin. Link pins are on horizontal. King pins are vertical. Your king pins hold the spindle together. Your link pins hold the spindle to your beam, to your arms, okay? Kings and links are real easy to get screwed up because they sound close together. I don't know. It doesn't take much to screw people up. Especially if you don't do it every day, right? It's like, Christ. I don't know what the hell a spindle is. I'm just trying to take these dang things off, right? 17 millimeter down here and up here. Bastard. You got a nut. You'll have a lock washer, split lock, and a flat washer, okay? Then you got your pinch nut. Link pin, pinch nut. Don't pinch those nuts, son. It's not fun. God damn it. There's some grease all over my freaking hand. Pedro, bringing me crap. You can move the spindle around, all right? Remember that, so that you can get at stuff easier. Some people, I do it too. You get to working on something and crap's in the way. You don't realize, oh, all I gotta do is move the spindle out of the way. It'll come right out. Okay, that's in there pretty good. So I'm just gonna give it a little tippy tap. Tap, 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 tap. This is what screwdrivers are for. All right. If you can see it, I doubt you can. You can't. There's a hole in there for a cotter pin. When this stuff's all together and on there, right? I'll go over this in the link pin adjusting video so you guys can know what you're doing. It holds everything together, but dig that out and put that cotter pin back in when you put the stuff back together. Make sure you hang on to all this crap because you're gonna need it later. Now get the top one. If I remember, there it is. Nut again, split lock, flat washer. That needs to go out. Move this out of the way. You don't want to bash it into your stock there. Well, this one might come out. Ooh, yeah. Oh, baby. There you are. Come on, come on. Oh yeah, that's nice and greasy. There's the hole. You can see the hole on this one. How the hell? Yeah, whatever. Hopefully you can. That's there, that hole, so you can break this loose and you can turn your link pins when you adjust them. That's in an upcoming video. So, oh yeah, that doesn't want to move at all, of course. Ugh. So remember, subscribe down in that corner maybe. Who knows? Who knows what corner it's going to be? I might surprise myself. All right, this is the pet peeve part of the discussion here, people. I rebuild these. Jesus Christ! I rebuild these things and I flip them too. That's what I'm doing for Pedro. So this will drop the front end 3.5 to match the bag. Get rid of those reduction boxes. Why speed limiters? The speed limiter boxes in the back, so you can get a transmission on and actually go 80 miles an hour if he wants to. But I get these in sometimes and it looks like a freaking orangutan went ape shit on them with a 10-pound sledgehammer. Don't ever hit your spindle. If you need to hit the spindle, hit it right here at the spacer. And that's just for the late stuff. If it's an early spindle, don't hit it at all. Please, don't hit it at all. They'll come in and you can tell people are bashing on it right here. hitting on this ledge, hitting on here, hitting up here, hitting all over the place. And all that does is just bend all of this material up over there. And then I gotta try and bend it back in it. There, that doesn't work. So I end up having to grind it away, and you don't end up with a good seal there. Just don't do it. These are link pins. Link pins, right? Horizontal. Woo, woo. Link pins. Beat the hell out of them. It doesn't matter. They're replaceable, right? But stop there. Don't start beating on your arms. Okay? A lot of times you get to that point and you can just pull this whole spindle will come right off. Of course, this one's not going to do that. Get yourself a little drift, okay? That shock's going to be in the way. Now you can hit on the link pin. Again, you want to stop when you come up close to the arm. This happens all the time too. People will beat the hell out of them like this. That one could go in a little bit. And then the arm, the backside of it gets rolled over. And then they go to put them on, and the link pins only go in, and then they like stop. Because they're hitting all this material that they bent over when they took these things out and sent them to me. And then they're like, why fine, where did all my link pins go in? And then I go ape shit. Oh, what did I screw up? Thinking in my head, not saying it to them, but then I'm like, okay. And then I have them go feel back there if there's a rough edge or whatever. Oh yeah, that's what happened. Okay, crisis averted. Hammer the freaking link pins in after you bend that back, clean that up, whatever. Don't beat on this. Don't beat on this. Don't go crazy beating on the lower kingpin here like this. Or you can tap on that if you want. But anyhow, just get a little drift. Something, anything. A bolt. You can use a bolt if you want. Oh, no. Of course I'm going to drop it on the floor. Old man noises. Oh. All right. I can just about guarantee I'm going to smack my fingers. God damn. Okay, let's do the top one. That one's coming out nice. And there's nothing here to get in this way, right? Look here the link pin's hitting the spindle. Top is out. That's your dust seal for your link pin. Now the bottom's going to be gonna want to be a pain. If I can get that, there we go. Get that to move. Try and loosen it up. Out some. Remember, this is the only part you can hit on. All right, move this wood out of the way. Let's try this. Yeah, I could just get an air hammer, right? You guys don't have air hammers. I'm too lazy to go all the way over there and hook up the air. God damn it. Keep the beard out of the grease, remember? Alright, start taking bets on whether I'm going to smash my fingers here. The shim. God damn it. Son of a bitch. Just hitting the spacer, that's it. Okay, come on, baby. Oh, yeah. See, just hit the spacer to screw that up. But that's the spindles off. All off. All right, when you send these things to me, oh, that's cute. That's the dust cap on the bottom. That link pin's probably gonna be wasted, but kingpin anyhow. You can take them off and send them to me just like this if you want. If you do that, what I'll do is take these out. This bottom one's wasted. See all that rust? That's cute, huh? That's real nice. But these you can tell are gone. The bottom one on that side's gone too. But just go ahead, send them to me like this. What I'll do is I'll take the link pins out, all this stuff, clean it up. That way I'll know what you got that's good and what you have that isn't, and we can piece it together, or we can make another, or I'll get to sell you a link pin kit. Get more money out of you, right? The bus costs money. But if you want to, take all of these out, take the link pins out. You don't have to, remember to put your bolt back in here. But that's it, you don't have to take this out. Please, actually don't take that out. Because half the time it breaks off. And I got a way of taking them out so they don't break off in there. Makes it a bigger pain in the ass for me if it's broken off. But I got my way to get that out, nice and easy. And then, yeah. So, I'm gonna flip these for Pedro, get them all broken down tonight. And then I will do a video on how to set up the link pin shims, how to measure the offset on these trailing arms. You're measuring the distance. This flat plane against that flat plane, there's a difference in between it. That's the offset, that's what you're measuring. I'll have a video on the measuring the offset, and I'll do a separate one on how to set up the shims the correct way, as far as greasing them up and everything else. And then I'll do an installation video for the flip spindle, which is basically the same as the stock. Next time I do a set of stock ones, I'll do a video on that too. So make sure you subscribe, because I got a lot of crap coming. Gonna drop some knowledge on y'all. If you got questions, please let me know. For real. Go to wide5.net and my email's there. Contact me through here. In the comments would be great. That way everybody gets it. No question is stupid. Seriously. I didn't know anything about this crap. I just picked it up by doing it. And a lot of people along the way helped, which is the greatest thing about the Volkswagen community. A lot of people are willing to help. So, and I'm one of them. So ask questions in the comments. I'll reply to you down there so everybody knows what's going on. Enjoy your time out in the garage, and we'll see you out on the road. Later.